We're going to do something a little bit different this time. Instead of looking at me when I talk, you can look at the magnificent Brooklyn Bridge. I took this video as I walked across it the other day. Beautiful sight if you've never been there. Anyways, I mentioned in my last video, I'm going to start working on the Sicilian style of pizza. And when I first started this channel, what I did was I went to New York and I went to a handful of different pizzerias and basically tried to imitate my favorite, which was Scar's Pizzeria on Orchard Street. And I did the same thing here, but I only went to two places for the Sicilian style. I didn't have much time and I went other places. Anyways, the first place I went was a place called Upside Pizzeria on 40th Street. And take a look at this. As you can see, the crust is pretty thick. It's about 1¼ inches thick, maybe even a little bit more at parts, maybe close to 1.5 inches. And I think what they did was put sauce on and then cheese and then some more sauce, as far as I can tell. And then you can kind of tell from the bottom and the edges that they put quite a bit of oil on the pan. And so the crust absorbs the oil and it's kind of burned and crispy. Makes the slice have really good strength, so you can just pick it up and put it in your mouth. Now, what you can't really tell from the picture is the density of the crust. It was kind of a heavier density, kind of like ciabatta bread. It was just a little bit heavier and stronger. And let's see, the sauce, it was just crushed tomatoes, no seasoning in there. And that's about it. That's what it looked like at Upside Pizzeria. The second place I went to was called East Village Pizzeria. And by the way, both of these places have really good reputations and have some acclaim, but they do things differently. So take a look at this. East Village Pizza, they make their Sicilian slices not as thick. These were like 3/4 inch probably on average. You can kind of see maybe at the end it was like 1/2 inch, but towards the other end it's closer to 1 inch. Let's just say 3/4, maybe 7/8 at the very most. And as you can tell, there's a lot of cheese and very little sauce. They didn't use quite as much oil in the pan, I can tell either. It's still crispy from being cooked, but not crispy from saturated oil. And you can't really tell from the picture, but if you look closely in both of these pictures, you'll see that this slice here at East Village has smaller air bubbles than the other one in the crust. And basically, this crust was really, really lightweight. What it reminded me of was the cheap French bread that you buy at grocery stores. Like if you go to Albertsons or something, you buy a big loaf of French bread for $2.50, and it's just really lightweight. You can eat a whole bunch without getting filled up. It's airy, but not with big air bubbles. It's just kind of like this spongy, lightweight bread. That's kind of what this was like. It was really lightweight. It didn't really fill me up. And as you can see, there's very little sauce, a lot of cheese. So basically, the predominant flavor here at East Village was cheese. Probably like 90% of everything you tasted was cheese. And then maybe 5% sauce and 5% crust. But the predominant flavor at Upside was pretty evenly balanced between sauce and cheese, depending on the bite you took. Some bites had more of a sauce flavor, some bites had more of a cheese flavor. But you also tasted more of the crust because it was just a lot thicker over there too. That's the difference between these two. My personal preference was the Upside Pizzeria slice. I just loved it. It was so good. I loved the sauce. The tomatoes were really good quality. I liked having some bites have more predominantly sauce flavor, some bites have more predominantly cheese flavor. It just kind of was a nice variety. And I intended to go to at least one more. I just didn't have time for it. Next time I go back, I'm going to hit up a couple places in Brooklyn for Sicilian slices, maybe even Staten Island. We'll see. But from these places that I want to go to, From looking at the pictures look really similar to the upside slice. So for that reason, I'm going to try to imitate the upside slice of Sicilian pizza. I've never done this before. I've never made it. I got to do a little bit of research and then some experimentation. So stay posted. Going to be working on the Sicilian slice real soon in a few days. Thank you.